Last video I just made about botany was about a guide of how to utilize swabbing was the main mechanic, but it also did involve making mutations. The goal of that one was to get just omnizine on a swab and not really focus on mutations. So this video is going to be a lot shorter and just focus on how mutations work mechanically. There are two important reagents or chemicals used in mutations. Left-4-Zed is like a base or a primer. For every unit that is applied to a plant, it has a 30% chance to adjust a mutation modifier by 0.4. So what that means is when you dump this on a plant's base mutation modifier is 1, meaning 1 unit of mutagen will cause 1 mutation. This can go up to 3, so 1 unit of mutagen will cause 3 mutations. A bunch of Left-4-Zed in this beaker, and from top to bottom I'm going to do 5 units, 10 units, 15, 20, 25, and 30. Mathematically, somewhere around 15 to 20 is about the amount you want to use. I'm not going to actually sit down and do the math of probability. You can't actually see these numbers in-game anyway, but I would recommend you do at least 20 to guarantee, or practically guarantee, that you will hit the max mutation modifier of 3. So if I just use some view variables, and again, I don't like showcasing or teaching things in this way, because you can't actually see this in game, but we can see that the Left-4-Zed has increased the mutation modifier by 0.8 in this case. If we check the 10 unit one, it actually increased it by 2.2, but still not quite 3. If we check the 15 unit one, there's a very high chance that we got full 3 modifier, but there's a chance we didn't. We actually did not. But if we check the 20, it's pretty much guaranteed mathematically at this point. Not quite, it's RNG, that we got the 3. So that's why I recommend we do that. So what this means is if you take a dropper, which is the way to dump 1 unit at a time of unstable mutagen. Unstable mutagen, we'll just show it in the guidebook, is what causes a modifier. It adjusts the mutation level by 1. Again, you can't actually see this in-game, but I will still use the debug view variables, whatever, to show how this works. So the plant here has a mutation modifier of 1.8. So if I put 1 unit of mutagen on it, it will get 1.8 mutations. You can't see these mutations normally unless it's a visual mutation, like say an ambrosia plant turns into ambrosia deus. That'd be an obvious visual mutation. There also is a slight delay to when you do inject mutations. So I injected one, so if I inject some more, the plant didn't eat it yet. So it's actually like, you see jump to 3.6. The plant didn't mutate yet. So if you dump too much on instantly expecting something to happen the microsecond you do it, you might have dumped on more than you needed. So the dropper is technically the best way of mutating a plant slowly but safely. But since this plant only has a mutation mod of 1.8, I'm essentially doubling the amount of mutations while being significantly safer to the plant by dumping it on the plants to have a 3 times modifier, which is all of the 20 unit, 25 unit, 30 units we dumped on. Really, the name of the game here is you put 20 units of Left-4-Zed on a plant first, and then you will just slowly but surely dump in your mutagen until you get the desired mutation. In this case, we want ambrosia deus. This depends on whatever plant you're going for. You just keep dumping these 1 units at a time on the plants to have the highest modifiers and hope that you get ambrosia deus on a few injections. It's not impossible that you get ambrosia deus on 1 mutagen on one of these plants. Sometimes you might not get any before the plant dies from a bad mutation. Mutations aren't always visual. They sometimes affect potency, yield. They can kill the plant, make it grow slower or faster, if I'm not mistaken. There's a lot of mutations that aren't inherently just physical or visual. So also, due to the fact that plants don't immediately eat the mutations, doing 1 unit at a time and taking short pauses between it is probably the slowest and steadiest way of keeping your plants healthy and alive without an insane amount of mutations, while also increasing the likelihood of getting the mutation you actually want. So I injected like maybe 4 mutagen total, and we ended up getting 1 ambrosia deus. So now, just like the previous video, we can actually see there's another mutation in here, because this is basically had upwards of like 12 mutations, so like 3 times 4, so 12 mutations. We actually have slippery ambrosia deus, and we'll see. Yep, we got the omnizine we wanted, and it's actually a really high potency omnizine. plant already, so it's already better than the plants made in the last video, much quicker. But this is a process you can't make without some help, because making Left-4-Zed keeps the radium in the bucket. So if you with your round start chems and botany, you can't make it just like this. We can see if there's seeds real quick just for fun. And yeah, we actually have seeds in this, so we could just kind of keep spamming out 44 potency plants. This is also, again, definitely not the most efficient way of making the best plants, but this got me the exact mutations I was looking for very quickly, very safely. If you had like a whole tray of these, like 9 of them doing 1 unit at a time, or each one of them had 20 Left-4-Zed, you're practically guaranteed to get an Ambrosia Deus, and it's possibly even a good chance of getting a healthy one like this. You are essentially playing your odds as good as they possibly get by making sure all of your plants have the 3 times modifier for mutagen, and hopefully this helps explain things further that the other video may have failed to explain in general. Anyways, thank you for watching.